Voila.
All right. Welcome to the new and improved Soarin Dingers, everybody. And, for those who have been following us for a while on Soarin Sports, this episode will also be on that track as well. We're going to make it a quick paid to speak for a living, and I can't speak. For those that don't know, I'm actually a reporter with a local TV station here in Idaho Falls. And so, yeah, I'm literally paid to write and to speak. So we're going to do a quick episode, and we're just going to rant and discuss why it's so bad for Major League Baseball to be locked out right now. And Alan, the more I think about it, the angrier I get. So either you got to talk me off a cliff right now, or I'm going to blow.
Okay, I'll let you go with the blow because really, I look at it differently. I look at baseball like how they do the problems. Like there's not a lot of reasoning. It's all like it's kind of like you heard the negotiations. Like, oh, it took 7 minutes. What can
also, who timed that?
Or less. What can we talk about that? What can we talk in 7 minutes? What topic can we talk about in 7 minutes? Like how to do a recipe? Will that work? Like, does that take 7 minutes to discuss?
Like, what do you discuss in 7 minutes? And let alone, how do you know exactly how long it took? Like, did you walk in, say, hi, everybody, my name is, and then all that took 7 seconds, and then you walked out and was like, yeah, we're not getting anywhere? Like,
that's interesting discussion. But you know what? I'm going to let you, Brayden, blow on the gas, but I'm going to tell you why you should not be angry right now after you let your anger out, because in my opinion, I think the renting you're about to do, you should save it. But if you want to do it now, go right ahead. Be my guest. But I'll tell you after you're done why you should not be renting right now.
So you're going to let me blow and then put water on me. Okay, we got this.
Yeah, exactly. That's right. That's right. That's right. You can laugh, but then just hear me out once you're done. So
all right.
Fire away.
Okay. First of all, this is the first work stoppage in MLB since the 90s, okay? This isn't the 90s anymore. Is baseball stupid? The people they want to reach out to, our generation, Alan, with how entertainment is, we can just literally switch away from baseball at the flick of a finger. If baseball thinks this is how they're going to reach our generation, and yes, numbers have showed they're reaching us, but if this is how they think they're going to work this out and get this done and be ready for next season, they're crazy. Like, no way in crap is this a good thing for baseball. And for those out there saying, oh, it's the players' fault. No. Let's get something straight here. A lockout means this is the owner's fault. It's the owners who are not wanting to do this right now. It's not the players. If it was the players, it would be a strike. No. This is a lockout, meaning the owners are like, hey, we're done. So it's literally the owners of all of our teams throwing a pissy fit saying, hey, you're not giving us what we want. We're done talking. It's almost like these owners who have own businesses outside of these teams have forgotten how negotiations work. And lockouts and strikes might have worked in, the last century to get points across and get talking done. But in this day and age, I don't think that's how it works anymore. I don't think when you're as good and prevalent as a sport of MLB, and in this day and age where technology is where it is, if baseball doesn't reach an agreement by spring training, people are going to not watch at all if they come back. And that's scary. And baseball needs to recognize this and put their pants on and get to work to nail this thing out. But they're not going to do that because they're idiots. Like, and the best part is we knew this was coming. Like Rob Manfred literally got up after the World Series and was like, if we don't have anything going by December 1st, lockout's coming. So from that sounds like to me as a fan, as well as a baseball podcaster, is no matter what the players were going to propose, and so, even if it was really good stuff, and Alan, we've seen some stuff about what they were kind of proposing, and through negotiations, all of that would have gotten knocked out. Whether it's economic problems in the sport or not, like all that was secondary. And you nail this stuff out, and then you go to the biggest problem you guys are going to fight over. But don't lock out because players are like, hey, let's work on this stuff. And really, like when it comes to us fans, it's literally just like, what are you guys fighting over? Money? Like, especially in this kind of pandemic, we're still recovering from a global pandemic. Like, is baseball tone deaf or what? Like this. And when we saw good faith signings, we saw Noah Syndergaard sign, we saw all these players traded and signed before the ridiculous December 1st midnight deadline. All of us fans, we had hope that this wouldn't happen. Then it happened. And what does baseball want to do now? They want to kill the sport? Like, come on, what's going on? I don't get it, Alan. This makes no sense. If they really are trying to work out a collective bargaining agreement, they need to talk. But by locking out the players, they're not talking. What can baseball do at this point? And from stuff I saw, what the players were offering and trying to negotiate was fairly reasonable. And stuff that would actually improve the game. So what's up?
That's your thoughts right now? Is that your final thoughts on this, or is there more?
Oh, there's more, but I kind of want to get discussion going. So
okay, all right. Let me ask you this. I get what you said. I am 100% in agreement. But let me ask you this. What month are we?
Obviously, it's December.
Okay. Here's the other question. This might be the question that I think will solve it. Well, I'm not saying solve it, but that's where, okay, we'll see what happens. But when do pitchers and catchers report to spring training?
February 12th.
February 12th. Okay. The reason why I say save your rant is because I would rather for anybody to save the rants until February 12th. I would say, you know what? We're in December. Like, it's going to give a lot of people in the league time to think, okay, you know what? What can we do to bring the game back? They might not think about it right now, but give it 2 weeks. They're going to start, hey, what can we do? And talking will happen again. But if it does not happen February 12th, when the pitchers and catchers report to training camp and no reports, then Braydon, go ahead, go crazy. If you have to tear down half of your house, which I would not recommend, but if you have to tear something old that you don't need, because there won't be any season or anything going on in baseball, then go ahead. But right now, and this is just my opinion, I would say, you know what? Let it happen right now. Once we get to February 12th or 15th, depending which teams report in those states for spring training, if nothing happens, then I would start worrying. I will start going nuts, and possibly, since there's no season, hey, I got other things to watch and worry about. But that's what I would say, Brendan. That's my personal opinion. You could say opinion advice, whatever, but that's just how I feel about this. Yes, it's upsetting that there's a lockout, but it's in December. If it was February 15th, when everybody is reporting, then I would worry. Then yes, go crazy. But it's December. I'm not worried. There's other things going on. We got the holidays coming, and that's what will give players and owners time to meet. But look, you're right. This is not 1995. This is not. But it could look like 1995 if by February 12th or the 15th, if no one reports the spring training.
And well, I think that's a fair look. And I think a lot of us need to kind of calm down. I also want it to be recognized that like we shouldn't be at this point where we're locked out, because if we're locked out, for me, that just spells that the owners don't want to even talk. They're not even wanting to. They're being so petty that they're like, eh. And
well, let it. Like I said, that's why we have this. Like, you have a day or two. Hey, you're recognized, and then okay, now go figure it out. You have to February 12th or before February 12th to figure it out. They got time. It's just a matter. Hey, you're being recognized. Now go ahead and figure it out.
yeah, and I think, well, like they do need time, and a lot of our favorite a lot of my favorite baseball writers are saying, hey, let's kind of similar to what you're saying, Alan. Let's just kind of relax a little bit, but also like they're also going, but we also know this isn't good. Like, it's not good for pineapple, or it's not good for baseball. It's not good for the sport. It's not good for the fans. It's not good for anything that they've built up in the past decade of support by us fans. And if they think this is how they're going to get things done, they're crazy.
Yeah, I know that. I know that, and really, like, it's great that it's being recognized that we have a lockout. It's awesome because we get to talk about it. But also, let's give these owners and players time, because look, some of them knew it was going to happen. Others, they thought, we can negotiate later, no big deal. But I would be careful with that. But like I said, you have till February 12th to figure this out. There's still time. I'm still hopeful that we will have a baseball season. I know you are, Braden. I can see it in your face. I know it. Even though right now it sounds like no, but trust me, there will be a baseball season. It's just a matter that before February 12th, we have a new deal, and then we can move on and talk about who else is signing, who else is going, who's going to win, and so forth.
Because I don't know about you, Alan. I was looking forward to starting this particular podcast off with the Angels making signings of pitching and all the off. I was getting ready, and you and I were getting ready to discuss the amazing offseason we were having. We haven't had an offseason like this in ever. So, like, to have what we were having, I think, but also know the threat of the lockout by Rob Manfred was there. I think no matter what, even if these players were signing, because Rob Manfred said there's going to be essentially said we're locking out at this time on this day, I think no matter what happened, and fans were forgetting about the lockout. I did. So when we see all these signings, we're going, oh, baseball's good. We're going to get that CBA. We're going to get everything working out. To all of a sudden, baseball's locked out. First labor stoppage in 30 years. To have that heart sink is not good. And I think a lot of us out there are feeling that. We're just feeling scared, like what's going on. And yes, Alan, I agree. We got till February 12th, and that's what I keep saying. But no matter what, this lockout is not good for baseball. If the owners think this is how they're going to get these negotiations done, they're crazy. They need to all be fired and recognize that this sport needs to evolve into the way things are in this day and age.
And it will. I think it's just like I said, they got time, and they have to understand. Hey, like there's owners that will change. There is. We've seen it time and time again. But I'm not worried about it. It's okay. We have a lockdown. All right, here we go. But wait till February 15th. And like I mentioned, Braydon, if there's no season, and we have another episode of our Soarin Dingers, if I see an item from your house being ripped or torn apart, I won't be surprised. You won't hear anger from me because you tore something. I'll just be like, yep, you did it. You did it. I'll applaud you. I'll even buy you a burger or something because you did it. But like I said, save whatever rants or additional rants or concerns for February 12th. That's when the real thing will start. Right now, I'm going to compare this to food, brother. You know how much I compare things to food at times.
Yeah.
Right now, this is just the appetizer. The entree is going to happen February 12th. So just enjoy that appetizer. Do whatever you want with it. But on February 12th, there's nothing. Then that's when the entree will start kicking in.
Oh, if by February we don't have any signs that baseball is coming back, I'm gonna explode, like, and it's not going to be fun.
And right there, go ahead, because that's the perfect time to explode. The perfect time.
All right. So I guess to all those fans that feel like me, let's take Alan's advice. Let's not necessarily calm down and chill or relax, but let's take a step back and recognize that we need to be like, we have till February. We have at least till spring training. And I don't think these owners and players are wanting to affect their salaries or the money that will come in from the season. I just refuse to believe that. I mean, we saw how they didn't even let the pandemic stop them. I mean, they kind of did, let's be honest. They could have easily had more than 60 games that year. And the fact that they didn't is really upsetting because they let the money get in the way. And for all those out there, but it's like, oh, it's the players' fault. The players were all for more games at this reduced salary. And the players were all like, let's just play, let's get going. And even now they're like, I'll have to find the post real quick. And while I'm doing that, we got to recognize too that like that the owners are being idiots. There's no better way for that.
Yeah, I don't know what else to say about the owners, and they're going to find out quickly. Like they are being idiots, and they're going to want a season to begin and a new CBA. I would even suggest, hey, let's do like a 15-year CBA deal, and we don't have to visit it ever again, or something. But we don't have to visit it ever again. But I guess that's what baseball does. They just disregard it. That's just my opinion. They just disregard things like that. And my hope is that February 12th, they have to have something on the table before that time. So they just have to start realizing it's only going to get worse from here. But if you're doing it to calm down and all, that's one thing. But we'll see what will happen because, in my opinion, like this is just only going to get worse.
I agree. And a great page on Instagram for a lot of your baseball transactions and baseball info is 358 Baseball. I love whoever's behind this page, what they do with it. And they posted kind of rumors of what was proposed by players and the league. And everything of these seems very reasonable to me. Players with this is from the players. Players with 5 years of service time or by the age of 29 and a half will enter free agency. Free agency has been a point with the players for a long time now. I think it was from the 70s, ever since the 70s or maybe 60s, somewhere in that time frame. Arbitration process for players begins after 2 years instead of 3. Advertising patches on jerseys, that's in the NBA and it's working well. You barely notice them. It's in the NHL on the helmets. You barely notice that they're there. So I don't see why baseball couldn't do something similar. A 12-team postseason format, that's kind of where I'm like, wait a minute. The luxury tax threshold increases $30 million from 210 to 240.
Mm-hmm.
And that's from the players. All those to me, Alan, seem reasonable. Owners hate the luxury tax. So raising it, in my mind, seems a reasonable request. Be like, hey, you guys don't like this? Well, let's raise it this much. MLB was like, NBA style draft lottery to prevent teams from tanking. I'm all for that. Let's get rid of tanking in all the sports. It's ridiculous. Mm-hmm. They wanted a 14-team playoff format. I still am like, but whatever. War-based pay to determine salary and arbitration. The Players Association already said no to that. And the league agreed to the 29 and a half aged players becoming free agents regardless of service time. So there was some progress being made. So why the lockout? I don't get it. And then on that same page, we find out it was voted on unanimously by the owners to lock out. Like, that's ridiculous. Not one owner was like, hey, wait a minute. We're actually making some progress here. Let's keep this progress going. Let's not tell the PA, shove it. Let's kind of keep this progress going. We're having a great off season. Our fans all over the world, they're excited. They're following it. They're loving it. Let's keep this going. Instead, they're like, nope, locked out.
Ooh, there's going to be a tug of war right now, really. And I don't know what else to say about this, really. This is right now. We're in December. We just came off 2 months ago of a great playoff and World Series. So I don't know what's the owner's mindset. If they want to counter, then counter. You should have countered. But instead, no. I think this might be the time where you ought to counter. You got to bring something to the table. And both have to understand that a lot of people are going to lose if there's no season come 2022. A lot of people, not just the owners and the players, but us, the fans as well. We're going to lose a lot. And we don't want to look back 10 years from now and say, why did we have lockout yet? I thought we solved it in 95. Well, it shows there's some cracks, and those cracks have to be fixed. And they have to be fixed right now. Not in 3 weeks, not in a month or two, or heck, not even until players and catchers and pitchers are reporting to spring training on February 12th. They have to figure this out now.
Well, right now, as it stands, there's no spring training.
Exactly.
So
they have before everybody reports to start bringing something to the table, counteract, and make sure we don't have a 95. Because hey, we're probably babies when that happened. So we don't want to be another generation be like, oh yeah, we're that generation that kind of got ourselves a strike, and we never. There was a season lockdown, and we had nothing going on from the summer. So get it done. Get it done. I don't know. I don't know who you're waiting for. There's no one to wait. Just get it done, and let's move forward.
because like what angers me is seeing that they were making progress, seeing that they were negotiating things. And then who the heck yesterday was like timed at the fact that this meeting went for 7 minutes and then they all walked out. Like you can't get much done in 7 minutes.
I know.
So, I mean, Alan, we said our piece on this. The Shohei Ohtani segment from Soarin Sports, that episode, we're going to have this kind of we're going to have that segment kind of be the tail end of this. But yeah, I got nothing else to say. We've been recording for almost an hour.
Yeah.
And we both got some things to do before we continue our day.
Yeah.
So we're going to end this episode. Eventually we're going to have music for this, guys. We like the music that we do here on the channel. But until then, we'll borrow Soarin Sports because, you know, whatever. And guys, we hope you like this inaugural episode of Soarin Dingers. Now, this name is subject to change. We like the kind of Soarin theme with our network. And so we're going to kind of keep it going. But yeah, keep that in mind, everybody. We got about a minute and a half just to kind of ramble and discuss some fun stuff. So if you like baseball and you like what Al and I have to say on it, let us know what topics you want to cover. We got a lot of stuff to talk about in the lockout negotiations. We'll update on as things go. We got our favorite players we'll discuss, favorite teams. Season predictions will go here. You can find us at Pineapple 22 Media all over social media. You can find us or email us at pineapple22media@gmail.com. Find me at bwilson_22 on all platforms.
Or
Alan, where can the people find you?
On Instagram. Sorry if I cut you off.
No, go right ahead.
Yeah, so we're everywhere. Just check us out. We also have a merchandise store that's on the link. That's one way to support us, and we'll just keep going from there. Just like I said, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. To just keep us watching whatever times you want at your convenience, because wherever device you're listening to, we're there.
Couldn't have said it better myself, Alan. And guys, if you love baseball and you love Pineapple 22, share it. All right, let's share it with your friends. Share it with your family. Let us know how we're doing. Let us know what do you guys want us to talk about. And as soon as y'all do that, well, let's grow this network. Let's make this thing go.
Absolutely. And again, till next time.
All right, till next time, everybody. We got about 30 seconds left on this, so we're just going to write it out.